More often than not, I have avoided doing something that I know I should be doing because in my brain, I imagine it to be very difficult, challenging, and I procrastinate in order to avoid feeling the feeling of failure, the feeling of it not being good enough, the feelings that come up when I mess up, the feeling of it not being successful or not coming out the way that I want it to. There's been a couple times in the past where I would start recording a video and something would go wrong, like the audio didn't record the whole time, so I'd have to start over and I'd get discouraged. Another time my camera died when I was filming outside and I would just stop recording for a long time because I hated having to deal with those quote-unquote failures, when really I feel like the ultimate failure is to give up. The process of learning something is obviously a challenging one because when we're new to something, certain things go wrong, we mess up, we feel a little discouraged because we're not as good at the new thing as we want to be when we compare ourselves to people who are already pretty good at it. That is part of the learning process, is making mistakes along the way. As cliche as it sounds, you just gotta keep trying. And for a long time, I avoided making music, I avoided making YouTube videos, I avoided the things that I knew my heart wanted to do. It's because I didn't want to deal with the feeling of failure or being bad at it or not having as many people watching or listening or engaging with my content as I want to, as I imagine, as I expect. But now that I have more than 100 videos on my YouTube account, I realized that the whole process wasn't about the numbers. It's not about how many people watch your content. It's the learning process. It's all the things that I've learned from making all those videos that have led up to this moment. All those hours I put into talking to a camera alone in my room, editing videos, strumming my guitar, singing, again, alone in my room. All the times I was frustrated and wanted to give up over and over and over and over again. All the times my videos or my music would come out in a way that I felt wasn't good enough. All those times were worth it. And I think we stop ourselves from doing anything at all. We stop ourselves from even trying because we want to avoid making mistakes, avoid that feeling of failure or discouragement or not feeling good enough. And that really is an intrinsic part of the creative process. And if you're not willing to feel those feelings that will come up inevitably, then I don't know what to say. I guess the process isn't for you. For me, the feelings that would come up when I think about growing old and regretting not doing certain things because of fear of failure, fear of how others will perceive me, fear of criticism, that feeling of regret is even scarier to me than those other fears. I don't want to ever feel like I didn't try hard enough. And part of that is what keeps me going and creating. I mean, of course, it's also because I really love it. I feel called to share how I feel, what I think about. I just do for some reason. It feels freeing. It feels like I can be myself. It gives me an outlet to express. It's something that I feel like I need, even though it might not make sense to my family, my friends. It makes sense to a lot of my friends actually, but you know, the people that I grew up with. It's just what my soul not only wants to do, but feels the need to do. I still feel that feeling of not wanting to make something or pick up my guitar, press record, edit this video. I still feel that. And I don't think it's ever gonna go away. But at this point, I'm getting better and better a little bit every day at just kind of observing that thought when it comes up and not allowing it to dictate my actions or how I feel in the moment, not allow those feelings of discouragement to keep me from doing anything at all, because I've been there. I've been discouraged and as a result of feeling discouraged, I've avoided expressing myself. I've avoided creating the things that I've wanted to create. I've avoided going for the ideas and dreams that I have in my heart. And that always leads to darker places for me. That's always led to me sitting on the couch, binge eating tortilla chips, eating lots of bread, binge watching YouTube videos, just being lazy, and knowing in the back of my mind that I'm just being avoidant because I don't want to feel those negative feelings of discouragement and not feeling good enough and whatever. On one end, you kind of have to just accept that they're a part of life and a part of the creative process and acknowledge them because it's just a part of it, for me at least. And on the other end, it's like, yeah, allowing them to exist but not giving them so much power. That's what I've learned over time. You know, I didn't really have a particular plan with this video. I just felt compelled to turn on my camera. And sometimes you just gotta do that with whatever outlet of expression that you're trying to pursue or improve in. Sometimes you just gotta sit down, put your fingers on the keyboard, on the piano, on the guitar strings, just start writing, start singing, start dancing, whatever, just show up. No plan in mind, no expectation in mind. Sometimes you just got to show up and allow whatever wants to come through. Because beyond you, there's this greater intelligence. There are all these ideas and thoughts and creations just awaiting to express themselves through you. And we're all vessels for that creation to flow through us. And what we gotta do is show up as best we can, as consistently as we can, no matter what the heck decides to come out, no matter if it's not what we expected, not perfect. Forget about all of those things and just show up.